The uncertainty around who the head coach is going to be next season is certainly not affecting them because they've won 3 out of 3 with Michael Carrick. But if you are a player, can it affect you if you know, if you don't know who's going to be there next season?
Well, I mean, we were speaking off air about this. I had a situation when I was at Charlton back in the day, and it was when Darren Bent first went to Charlton. I think he scored 20 Premier League goals, done fantastically well. But Charlton only played with 1 up front, so obviously I was limited to minutes. And Kirbishley was there. Towards the end of the season, we discussed a new contract. I was going to sign it at the end of the season, but then Kirbishley moved on to West Ham. Ian Dalby came in and took the contract away from me. So obviously, you can imagine I was fuming. But I think at Man United, it will be something similar because there's going to be players there thinking, well, Michael Carrick's not been guaranteed the job. What's my future look like after the season? They still have to go out and perform this season. They're doing really well, the players that are playing, but they will have, thoughts on their future next season, which is up in the air at the moment.
Do you think he'll still be at Tottenham next season?
Based upon what he's saying, it's not looking positive because, his comments there when he says the depth is disgraceful. I mean, when you really break it down and look at it, to me, if I was listening to that and I'm in that change room, I'll be thinking he's basically saying the players are poor. And then obviously he's going at...
He's not saying there's not enough players rather than the quality.
Well, he said the squad depth is disgraceful.
Or depth, though. He's not saying he's saying the quantity,
so
not the quality.
If the squad depth is disgraceful, that means that the players that are on the bench aren't good enough in his eyes, right? And obviously that isn't positive, especially coming from a captain. And what Thomas Frank said there is absolutely right. He's 27 years old. If you're a younger player and you're having these kind of outbursts, and then the club are, pulling you up on it, but then you keep doing it, it can suggest that you might be looking elsewhere at the end of the season. So, I mean, right now, it's not looking positive for him. But if he can change his ways, Tottenham are still a very, very good club, and you'd like to see him be a part of that. It's a good defence, but ultimately he needs to stop these outbursts to the hierarchy and about the squad depth.
Do you think he's a good captain?
Listen, I think Romero's a very good player. He's definitely not a player that forwards would enjoy playing against. I think he works hard. He leads by example, as in terms of his aggression, wanting to win every game. But he picks up a lot of bookings, silly bookings as well. And I feel like those are the kind of things that you look at and say, is he a good captain? Because he should be setting an example. I think there's probably better candidates now. Again, I think it's just one of those things that happen in every single game. It happens all the time.
What does? As in, when plays in your half or a manager having a go?
When the goalkeeping coach on the other side will come and stand in your half, in the opposition half, and the goalkeeper's kicking long balls. That's just what happens. But I can understand his frustrations, that's for sure, because he's like saying,
what did you think when
my team are warming up?
What did you think when you were warming up and the opposition?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't like it, especially for me personally. Like, I used to do a lot of quick feet drills around kind of where the halfway line is before I go in. So, and I see balls coming over near me, because not every kick's going to be accurate. So they're going to be flying over your head. Sometimes they've whistled past me. It's frustrating. You look back and you say, what are you doing? So I can understand that. But I actually really like the way Rossini handles the media. I like the way he speaks. He's all about business. He's all about winning. And those little inches and, millimetres that can help you get their upper hand, you want to use that. Maybe Arsenal did do those kind of things intentionally to, kind of take the players off their game. I'm not too sure. But
are Manchester United being derailed by manager uncertainty? It's a question that's hanging over Old Trafford as performances continue to fluctuate and clarity remains elusive. On the pitch, there are moments of promise. Off it, the noise around leadership and long-term direction refuses to go away, and that combination is rarely healthy. Players thrive on structure and certainty. When the future of the manager is constantly debated, focus slips. Selection feels reactive, systems change too often, and confidence drains quickly after setbacks. United's recent display suggests a team unsure of its identity, caught between short-term survival and long-term rebuilding. The uncertainty also affects decision-making higher up the club. Recruitment, tactical planning, and even youth integration depend on knowing who will lead the project. Without that stability, United risk drifting, not collapsing, but never fully moving forward either. Until a clear stance is taken, this cloud will remain. Back the manager fully or reset decisively. What United can't afford is existing in limbo. History shows that at Old Trafford, uncertainty doesn't just slow progress, it actively pulls teams off course.